Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I just want to say sorry I've been away for quite a while. Been really busy with life in general. I guess that's just part of being an adult. But the good news is I finally have some time to sit down and do this review. And this one is a little special because this ink was actually recommended by one of my viewers and it's her favorite ink. So today we are taking a look at Pilot Iroshizuku Fuyu-syogun. Before we get into the writing and swatches, I just want to talk a little bit about the background of this color. Fuyu-syogun is written in kanji, so these are the kanji characters. In Chinese, these same characters are pronounced as Dongjiangjun, carrying the same literal meaning winter general. These characters originated from Chinese and were later adapted into the Japanese writing system. In Japanese, it refers to the powerful presence of winter, so you can imagine those cold, harsh winds arriving like a general leading an army. A close English equivalent would be something like Old Man Winter, that personification of winter as something powerful, quiet, and inevitable. I think Pilot likely created this color to capture that exact feeling, a muted introspective winter where everything feels still, slightly distant and softened by cold air. I've also swatched a similar ink to Fuyu-syogun for comparison, which is Sailor Shikiori Yuki Usagi, so we can take a closer look at how they differ. For this video, I actually did the swatching beforehand instead of live on camera. The main reason is that it allows the swatches to fully dry so you can see the true color, shading and undertones more accurately. Especially with inks like this, a lot of the character only shows once it settles. So here are the swatches. Fuyu-syogun presents as a really soft, cool blue-gray, very controlled, very subtle, with gentle shading. And in contrast, Sailor Shikiori Yuki Usagi on the right is much more complex. You can see a mix of translucent blue-gray base with warmer, slightly brownish undertones coming through. And this actually creates that chromo shading effect where the color subtly separates and shifts depending on how the ink pulls. Even within this swatch, especially towards the heavier areas, you can see hints of that warmer shading emerging beneath the cooler surface tone, which makes the ink feel more dynamic and visually interesting compared to Fuyu-syogun. So overall, Fuyu-syogun is more of a consistent, elegant blue-gray, while Yuki Usagi offers a more complex, multi-tonal experience with visible chromo shading, especially if you look closely at the layered areas of the swatch. Alright, so now we are moving on to the writing sample. Before that, just a quick note on Yuki Usagi. I don't have enough sample ink left to do a proper live writing demo, but apparently on Irofu paper, the chromo shading doesn't show up for this ink. It tends to appear more flat, almost just grey. So if you want to see that chromo shading effect come through, Tomoe River paper is definitely the better choice. I'll be writing an excerpt from Shakespeare because I think it pairs really nicely with the mood of this ink. For the paper comparison, I'm using Tomoe River Sanzen and Irofu paper. That opening line essentially means you can see in me the time of the year I'm in. It's actually talking about aging. So Shakespeare is comparing himself to late autumn or early winter, a stage where things are fading and quieting down. And honestly, that's exactly what this ink feels like. So in terms of performance, the writing is very legible and the ink feels wet and smooth with this nib. It flows effortlessly, which makes it really enjoyable for longer writing sessions. On Tomoe River Sanzen, the inks really stands out. The strokes are crisp, shading is more visible, and the color retains its subtle complexity. When first laid down, it appears slightly darker, but when it dries, it's softened into that muted grey tone. On Irofu, the paper is more absorbent, so the strokes look thicker, and the color appears more flat and uniform. Personally, I prefer how it looks on Sanzen. The crispness really complements the character of the ink. That said, on both papers, the ink is very well behaved. No noticeable bleed through and no feathering. So overall, Fuyu-syogun sits firmly in that soft muted winter palette. It feels like stillness, cool, distant, and controlled. So to the viewer who actually recommended this ink, I understand why you love it. Fuyu-syogun isn't just a color, it's a moment of stillness, a quiet awareness of time passing, and in a way, it feels like Shakespeare written in ink. So everyone, thank you for watching. I hope this review was helpful and informative. For the next video, I'll be demonstrating how to fully ink up my Twisby Eco. So I will see you guys soon and have a great week ahead.